Welcome, everybody, to the Mission Employable podcast, where we're talking all things workforce here in Iowa. Now, today's show is all about an upcoming event here in Des Moines that highlights the contributions of women in the trades. Now, nationally, women only represent 4% of the construction trades, and we're going to be discussing ways to encourage women to explore trade careers that are in high demand. As always, joined by my co-host, Kathy Leggett. Kathy, how's it going?
It's going great today. And Ben, I'm super excited about our topic because it's really an interesting one, and I hope that people share this with everyone they know.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, joining us today on the Mission Employable podcast is our guest, Samantha Groark. She's the Executive Director of Central Iowa Building Trades. She's here to talk about the Women in the Trades Conference on March 4th. Thanks for coming to the show, Samantha. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So first of all, just kind of tell us a little bit about your role and how you got started in the trades.
Sure. So I'm Executive Director of the Central Iowa Building Trades Council. This is an affiliate of the Iowa State Building Trades Council, and essentially we are a coalition of building trades unions from across the state who represent men and women who work in the industry in all corners of the state. And I got into this role because I really appreciate the role that the trades have. I come from a family of tradespeople. It's part of my upbringing. It's also been a huge impact on my generational family as far as our ability to be, middle class citizens. So I love doing work with the trades, and it's just been a great fit for me in this role.
Yeah, now earlier you said that you were an attorney first and then you got into the trades kind of in this role afterwards because you just found that you had such an appreciation for it.
Yeah, so I started with the trades actually as a lawyer representing not just unions but apprenticeship programs, and really out of respect and admiration wanted to do even more hands-on work and do exactly the type of work here to talk about, which is bringing in more people, bringing in more women in particular, and this new role has been perfect for that.
I think it's really easy for us to drive by things every day or see, just kind of take for granted the workmanship that it takes to really build and maintain and create all of the things that we have. And so I think you'll be able to share some really interesting pieces of that people can maybe take in, learn, consider, and be like, wow, this is something I want to be part of. So thanks again for being here. Talk to us a little bit about the Women's in Trade Conference, which is coming up. Maybe start with the basic details, when, where, what, and then we'll go into more.
Sure. So it's going to be on March 4th, which is a Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., so a good portion of the day on Saturday. We are going to have the conference at Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 33. That is located here in Des Moines. We are super excited, though, to be welcoming women from all across the state to join us for this wonderful convention of tradeswomen.
Oh, I was just gonna ask a little bit about the event itself and what women can expect when they come and visit.
Sure. So the program, for the most part, is going to be structured with a series of workshops for tradeswomen to be able to, first and foremost, meet each other and to make connections with women from across the state who are in the construction industry. Maybe it's their own craft, but also maybe it's a different craft. And the workshops are focused on topics like leadership skills, telling your story, how to promote respectful workplaces, recognizing the role that women have played in labor history, particularly in the trades. So there's a dual purpose, both bringing tradeswomen together to network and meet each other and to more or less share war stories, but also to provide some leadership development, because we don't just want to promote women in the trades. We want women to be leaders in the trades, to advance their careers in the trades, and to feel empowered to tell their story, to bring more women into the trades following their footsteps.
That's great. I have a couple of questions. First is, would this also, yes or no, be something for somebody who is interested in a woman who's interested in maybe getting into the trades? Would this be a venue for her to come and just even learn or maybe meet some people who are in it? Or is that not the place? There's other opportunities for that?
I think that it would be a good opportunity if there was a woman who was really interested in the trades to learn more about what it's like to be a woman in the trades. For the most part, we think that the folks that will come will be primarily women who are currently employed in the trades, but certainly if there's someone interested, they're welcome to sign up and attend.
Okay, yeah. That's great.
And so kind of going back to a couple of things that you just said there, how important is it to network with fellow women in the trades?
It is so important, and one reason is even though the numbers of women in the trades are growing, and this is a very good thing, there are still times where a woman may be the only female on a job site, maybe the only female employed by her company, maybe the only female working on a particular project, maybe it's in rural Iowa. And so because, again, the numbers are relatively small, it's so important that we bring them together to be able to share stories. Even things like giving advice on where to buy boots and PPE that fit right for women, right? There are important things that women can discuss together that make sense for networking and just other reasons.
That makes a lot of sense. There are a lot of different, when we say the trades or construction trades, or that encompasses a lot. So can you give us some examples of the occupations that'll be represented?
Yeah, so there is no really such thing as a construction worker. It turns out there's a trade for every portion of a project, and we represent 16 different crafts, which is quite a bit. And so we expect women in attendance to be operating engineers, painters, laborers, iron workers, plumbers, pipe fitters, carpenters, boiler makers, glaziers, cement masons. The list, is pretty long, but we have registration confirmed from all of these trades so far, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And what makes a career in the trades appealing to women?
So I've been thinking about that question a lot lately, and I think that they're becoming more appealing, these careers, because we're doing a better job of promoting them to women, to making sure women know that these are careers that are open to them and they're encouraged to pursue them. But my other answer to that question is for the same reason that they appeal to men. Not everyone sees themselves sitting in an office every day. Not everybody wants to do the same thing every day. Some people like to work with their hands, like to be outside. We see a lot of women who come to us just wanting something different where they can work with their hands and see the fruit of their labor at the end of the day, something really measurable that they can point to and say, I did that. These careers are also appealing because they're in really high demand right now, and they pay extremely well and provide really good benefits. So if you're someone that is concerned about health insurance, concerned about having a retirement, these careers really offer pathways into the middle class and without a college degree.
Right, and that's I want to link to that now because we're talking also registered apprenticeships, because those are the programs, the training programs, and give maybe some of the points about the value of being able to get accepted into a registered apprenticeship program. Maybe like the timeline, but also you're earning while you're learning, some of those benefits.
Sure. So registered apprenticeship programs are really the bedrock of training the skilled trades workforce here in Iowa and across the country, and that's because there's a need for both classroom training but also on-the-job training. You really learn these crafts by working alongside experienced journey persons. So apprenticeship programs in the skilled trades and the building trades tend to last 3 to 5 years depending on the craft, and they are great programs because you can walk in and not have to take out any student loans, go into any kind of debt. They're tuition-free programs, and like you said, you earn while you learn. So on top of classroom instruction, you'll be earning good wages, working with an employer. You'll be receiving health insurance and already receiving pension contributions. Apprentices receive regular raises as part of their progression through their programs. Often they will achieve various state licenses and other certifications like OSHA 10, etc. And by the time they graduate their programs as a journey person, they'll have a credential that they can take with them anywhere in the country. Of course, we wish and hope that they stay in Iowa. And they'll be highly employable, especially in today's market where we're seeing all kinds of building and construction activity going on.
Yeah, the apprenticeship model is so attractive, not just for high schoolers who are coming out of 11th, 12th grade into apprenticeship programs while they're also splitting time in schools, but also for people that want to make a career change, and maybe they are working in that office job and it's just not for them, or they realize they want to be outside more or something like that. It provides them the opportunity to learn this new skill while also not taking on a bunch of debt like you mentioned, or not being able to provide for their family if they have one.
Yes, we are seeing apprentices in all of our programs that range in age from right out of high school to we have apprentices in their 50s in some of our programs. At the same time, we have a lot of veterans who find that apprenticeships are a really good fit for skills that they developed while in service and are enjoying that structure and training that go along with our programs as well. We're also seeing increasing numbers of women as well as folks from rural areas, underrepresented areas, an explosion of activity in registered apprenticeships right now for sure.
Yeah. And one question that I had for you is that, and this isn't necessarily women specific, but something that I think is an interesting point is asking what kind of career advancement opportunities are available in these trade fields.
Sure. So when you graduate from a registered apprenticeship program, you're going to be a journey person in your trade, but you're also going to have the opportunity, at least in union programs, to return to your training center and get continued free education to upgrade your skills. Often that's getting additional certifications, additional licensing. In many industries, like in solar and renewables, the industry and the technology are changing dramatically and quickly, and so our programs have to adapt to that and provide continued training so that everyone is up to speed on what the next generation of projects are going to be. On top of that, as far as additional opportunities, you can, once you're a journey person, work up to being a foreman, a superintendent, take on management type positions with your company. You can also become an instructor at the apprenticeship program that instructed you, and we really enjoy seeing folks take on that journeyman title and then pay it forward to the next generation, because that's what the apprenticeship model is really built on.
And it also seems like a great avenue for people that maybe have an entrepreneurship in their future and want to start their own business, learn how to do it through these unions and the trades and that kind of thing. And then if they're ready to go out on their own, go out on their own.
Absolutely. A lot of folks start out in the trade and then they learn the business side of it as well and decide that they want to go into business for themselves, and they do and are often very successful. So there's really, the sky is the limit when you have this kind of skill set.
So do you have, this is maybe a little more of a general question, but we certainly like to speak to employer issues when we're on our podcast as well. And well, a couple things. Registered apprenticeships related to recruitment and retaining employees. I think there's probably some benefits to that you can share. And then also, do you have any suggestions for employers who are really trying to recruit women into maybe those non-traditional workspaces?
Sure. So one thing that's really important, at least to the second question, and in particular recruiting women, is that it is so important for women to be able to see themselves in these careers and to see it as a viable path. And so one part of that is just representation and doing a good job of sharing the stories of the women who are already in your shop and how successful they are, and giving them an opportunity to also be leaders so that they can. Women recruit women really well in the trades. It's a little bit harder when you're only men, and only a group of men. So I would say that just representation matters a lot. Also just getting out there and talking to students, going to the career fairs, doing some of the typical things that employers have to do, with just an emphasis on educating about apprenticeships, because we hear often that folks aren't hearing about apprenticeships at their schools. We think that it's getting a lot better, but there was a period of time at least where school counselors weren't really promoting apprenticeships. They were promoting college. And of course college is the right path for some, but for others it may be that an apprenticeship is the right fit, and so making sure that we educate students about all those options is really important.
Yep, that's great, and it just makes me think too. I agree with you, because I've heard that, and I do think we're getting better at it, but we still have a ways to go. And also, I just want to say maybe a message and a shout out to parents as well. If they're listening to this, or if you know parents of younger kids, or that this is a great option for a career path for your child as well. If college isn't the fit, look to an apprenticeship, and it's really awesome. So
yeah, our programs, are jointly sponsored by our employers and unions, and we welcome school groups and families to come down to some of these training facilities anytime. Call up, come down and see what apprentices are learning, see what the classrooms are like and the curriculum. They really are robust programs across the state. I mean, Iowa is leading the way with some of these programs, and I think that if you hadn't seen it before, you would be very impressed and feel that your child would be going into a really good career.
That's something that I'm glad you brought up, because I know Kathy and I were talking about this prior to this interview, was that the construction field, I feel like, has changed so much over the last, 10, 20 years in terms of just the technology that we're using. I mean, this isn't, while there is, hammer and nails and wrenches and things like that, this is getting super high tech.
Yeah, so where we're going to be hosting the March 4th event at the Plumbers and Steamfitters, they do a lot of work with HVAC and refrigeration, and we are seeing so much activity in the energy efficiency market and with some of the machinery that's out there, and our programs are really doing a great job of anytime there's new equipment, new mechanical engineering to learn, they're bringing it into the training center so that apprentices can see it there first. And we're seeing that across all of the crafts. So we've got, the dawn of EV charging stations that are going to be everywhere soon, as well as new solar technologies, all kinds of new energy technologies that are going to be employed here in Iowa and across the country. And you're right, building trades, while we do traditional work, we also train the next generation for the next generation of projects.
Yeah, we're talking 3D printing, robotics, like all of the above, right?
And it's all in part of our world now, and we embrace it and we train for it. It's important for safety reasons, as well as of helping our employers be productive and get the job done.
Great. Well, let's talk one more time about the conference coming up on March 4th, okay? Just as a reminder, we were able to talk a lot about or share a lot of great information here, but tell us one more time, March 4th, go over the times, how do people get more information?
Sure. So the conference is going to be on March 4th. Tradeswomen from all across Iowa are welcome. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 33 here in Des Moines. And the address is 2500 Bell Avenue. And you can find out more about registration by visiting centraliowabuildingtrades.org. And you can also learn more by following the Building Trades on Twitter. Our handle is Iowa Trades.
Is there a cost?
No, it is free to attend.
Yeah, perfect.
It is free to attend, and lunch will be provided.
Okay, and if somebody says, oh, I really want to go, but I can only go till 1, is that okay?
They're welcome to come.
So, we don't want to discourage anybody from taking, the opportunity to be part of this event.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a tradeswoman in Iowa who's unable to attend, please visit our website, and there will be more information to come about ways to take advantage of additional networking opportunities and to learn more about the trades.
That's great. And Sam, one more thing that we were talking about when we were walking up here is that you have people registered from all across the state. So this will be a great opportunity, no matter where you live in the state, to get connected with people outside your area, but also perhaps people from your region. So
yeah, we hope it's the beginning of this group and many other tradeswomen getting together more frequently and to really feel empowered to, again, recruit the next generation of women who are building Iowa.
Awesome. Well, Samantha, thank you so much for taking the time to come and visit us here at the Mission Employable podcast. We really appreciate it. We're just super excited to see what you guys do and how this event transforms over the next several years, because I imagine this is going to be a long time coming for down the road.
It'd be great if we're sitting here next year and you're more than doubling again your number, and then go on and on. So
that would be amazing and great for the state.
Yes,
awesome. So thanks again. We appreciate it, and thanks for coming on the Mission Employable podcast.
Thank you both.